I'm on the dating apps right now, and you only have to have luck with one girl, and then you have a girlfriend. So don't worry about when you're sifting through and they all seem impossible. You just have to have one work. I was talking to this Iranian girl, and Jesus, she was like really putting me through the ringer, like giving me these like one word answers, and like I was trying to be accommodating, and I'm like, what am I being accommodating for? You give me one word answers. She basically was like, I just said, hey, I like your pics, but you don't have much on your profile. And she's like, well, neither do you. I was like, all right, that's fair. But I'd like to know some more about you. And she's like, well, you go first. You tell me something about you. I was like, okay. So I tell her a bunch of stuff about myself. And she writes back, great. What does that mean? Like about one of the things. Like she doesn't know what a CPA is. I'm a CPA. She said, what is CPA? I'm like, no. Like you asked me about myself. I opened up. I told you a bunch of stuff. And you're fixating on the one word that like you don't know instead of telling me about yourself like you said you would. But it's like who cares? If it doesn't work out with her, it's fine. Like maybe she's not the right one for me. But I don't know if I can yeah, why do I want to bark up the tree of someone who like won't even like be true to their word? Not that I think girls are always true to their word. Like I hate to say it, but there's that line in As Good as It Gets. How do you write a woman so well? I think of a man and I take away reason and accountability. Well, I hate to say it, but lately I've met a lot of girls that don't have accountability. This is just one of them. But there's girls out there that have accountability, obviously. I think my sister has huge accountability. I think my little sister has accountability too. I have two little sisters, but the littlest one, I think she has accountability. I keep thinking about this girl I was seeing and how, like, she would hammer me on so much stuff, like some social justice stuff, like as if like I was such a bad person for not. She would correct me all the time about stuff, and when I think about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I messed up some stuff, but like my heart's in the right place, and like at the end of the day, like you were selfish and like couldn't see beyond your freaking face. Going to a dance party tomorrow night. This is just like a thought dump. I'm just saying whatever. Going to a dance tomorrow. No, yeah, tomorrow. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow's Friday. That's cool. Maybe I'll meet some ladies there that are cute and cool. Like the plan anyway. My friend was joking around that we should get married. I don't want to get married. I mean, I don't want to get married right now. Who knows? Maybe that'll change if you meet the right person. I used to call Coors Lights werewolf killers. Get it? Silver bullet werewolf killers. Ha ha ha! I'm so smart, so clever. So I'll tell you about the other. I mentioned Black Mirror last week, so I'll talk about Black Mirror today. The first thing that ever happened to me that felt like an episode of Black Mirror. I was in New York, and I was walking through Herald Square, and there's a little park there, and I sat down at the park, and when I sat down, I looked at the ground, and in front of me, about 20 feet in front of me, there was a box, like a piece of trash, piece of cardboard. It was some kind of food product that must have been inside, but it had ripped in such a way that all I could read was "keep frozen." And I thought maybe that's the universe telling me to keep frozen, and to keep sitting here and looking at this box. So I did. I sat there and I stared at that box for a long time. A long time. And it was weird, and I remember thinking like, how long am I going to stare at this box? And I said to myself, you're going to have to stare at it till something happens. And it was freaky. And I started to get scared that I was going to be there for a million years. And after so long, I mean, maybe an hour, maybe more, I had this realization. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm looking at a box. And that is what we do these days. We stare at boxes. I'm staring at one right now. The phone, that's a box. The TV, that's a box. We stare at boxes. And when I had that realization, I had this like wave of euphoria sort of come over me. And I had this like Zen, peaceful moment. And I had this like Zen smile across my face. Not 2 seconds later, some kid walks by, picks up the trash, the keep frozen thing, and throws it in the trash. Now, people are like, have laughed at me about that. Oh, that's just whatever. You weren't there, and it was something. Anyway, that's all I got to say today. Peace out.